Look at this shit, man. The day before Thanksgiving. I wonder where's that bitch slashed at though. The day before, the day before Thanksgiving. This goofy bitch done goddamn slashed my goddamn tires, bro. Came over probably like 2 in the morning and slashed my shit. You know? This is shit, and I'm posting this shit. This the shit I gotta deal with. Real talk. From goofy bitches. Goofy bitches who ready to go to jail. Bitch, you're going to jail. Bitch, you're going to jail. I don't care what you're going to jail. And I'm posting this. And I'm posting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk, man. Then came and slashed my tires, man. You know? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm posting this everywhere on every goddamn site. I'm putting this on YouTube. I'm putting this on Facebook. Putting this on my sister Twitter. I'm telling my sister put this on what's that other one? TikTok. All of that. All of that. I don't let me find out that Las Vegas police got a YouTube page, bitch. Let me find out Las Vegas police got a Facebook page. I'm putting it on there too.
Anti-Afro Bengalis, these are my comments from the video yesterday, or adding on to the comments. Part 2. I'm not going to replay those clips, but I put the video link below the title. I definitely have some things I want to say. First off, what did we just hear? Calling the Las Vegas Metro Police Department on who? A black person? Or is it we just can't call the police on a black man? Because he's going to call the cops on a black woman. I mean, all these rules, I can't keep up. Well, I'm not supposed to keep up because I don't go by any of these rules. That's what you're supposed to do. If someone commits a crime against you, you contact law enforcement. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's your personal choice. So saying supposed to, I mean, if you don't want to call the cops, don't call the cops. But you can't tell someone else whether or not they should call the cops. That's common sense. I am stating the obvious. But it's interesting how calling the police for help is okay as long as you are being the victim of a crime. Not when you're the perpetrator. Obviously, perpetrators don't want you calling the cops on them. They want to keep engaging in their behavior so they can enrich themselves or get a benefit. Well, if you can find those willing to go along with that, you're home free. When you have others who are unwilling to go along with that, it's going to be rough going all the way around. Now, I thought it was very bizarre to hear this claim about the call to Las Vegas PD being the 911 call. But it's typical Umar Johnson bullshit to listen to something very clearly stating one thing, but you got to throw something else in there and twist it and hoping people will just listen to what you say if they weren't really listening closely to begin with. 911 call, detectives don't answer 911 calls. In fact, police officers don't even answer 911 calls. Dispatchers do. But at least that would give comfort to those who need to hear something, no matter how nonsensical it is. You need to hear something that's perceived to be outrageous on our part. Just simply calling the police is not outrageous. Calling 911 would be to, as we heard, embarrass or get somebody jacked up. It makes it a whole lot more interesting than saying, I called the police. It's very calculated, extremely calculated. Then what sense does it make to be concerned about the police wasting their time or their resources being squandered if this was a 911 call. Because it's already been established by the quote masses that we shouldn't be calling the cops. We just saw a contradiction right at the beginning. But if we're not supposed to be calling the cops, what is the reason there will be a concern about the cops' time management issue if they're talking to someone on the phone? You're taking them away from communities, white communities, Hispanic / Latino communities, Asian communities, Gypsy communities. You're taking them away from the communities they serve because we don't want them serving the black community. So what's the problem? You're concerned the cops are not available for another community? That's exactly the point. Are you concerned about your own community? Really should be the question. Either way it goes, trying to bring in this defense of the police when you're sitting up there completely disregarding the gravity of your own behavior when it comes to interacting with the police and lying. The scary part about us interacting, we're being 100% truthful. The truth scares some subjects to death. Now, something else that was said made a lot of sense. Call an attorney, hire a lawyer. I wouldn't mess with it. Sound advice. Unfortunately, Dempsey is the one who doesn't take his own advice. Dempsey aside, that's solid advice. If you think somebody's trying to railroad you and he said, get his house swatted, I mean, really stretching it out, really trying hard to find a way to lay on some guilt, which is not going to work. It never had any chance of working. It will never work. The best way to stay clear of the police, don't engage in criminal behavior. Oh, sure, there's always an exception here and there where they're going to go into the incorrect home. And I'm not making light of that. Highly unlikely here that this will happen. I'm living in 2 separate states. Just the same, I'm not going to be saddled with any guilt if that did happen. Whoever's engaging in this behavior, this criminal behavior, knows exactly what they're doing. I mean, talk all you want. This Dumpsy D. Durrell, go ahead, I will screen record. The issue is it's in response to what Dempsey did. It was never initiated. So you can screen record anything you want. Even if I am reacting, it's not going to be something that is illegal. Those are the behaviors that those in the Umar Johnson sector, most of them, not all, there are exceptions, that's the way they operate. And to try to force others to go along. I'm not going to force myself to be something that I'm not, and I certainly don't want to be. I mean, talk about an insult. Clout chaser? No, it's called clout attacking. You're going to gain a name, notoriety, attention by who you attack. That's the proper term, clout attacking. Randomly pick any other subject in the Umar Johnson sector. Outside of a small number of people, no one is going to care if you start attacking the small number of targets. They're not going to give a hoot. And it's a mistake to think those targeted are actually in the Umar Johnson sector, because we're not. We know a few people. We respect a few people. We walk with a few people in the Umar Johnson sector. It doesn't mean that we are part of the Umar Johnson sector, because we're not. But people can have their own view and perception. That's completely up to you. You understood. And shout out to Stargate, breaking the culture of silence for making sure people are fully aware that this fake outrage is not going to fly. And this role reversal effort is not going to fly. Me and Reggie talk about that all the time, just trying so hard to target other people's reputation and try to assume yourself in that role. Well, if you want to be in a role that has a good reputation, just act in a decent manner and you'll get a good reputation. You don't have to steal someone else's and try to impose your atrocities on them as if they perpetrated atrocities that you perpetrated. You engage in this conduct and running around claiming other people did. Oh, well, claim other people did. It will never be proven. Who's doing what is very clearly identifiable, especially when you're talking about a social media platform. We don't have the top secret, most intelligent, computer savvy, they can't crack your codes folks up here in these YouTube streets. At least not in the Umar Johnson sector or surrounding sectors. Very easy to track those down who are harassing others. It's a chance that they decided to take. Nobody's forcing anyone into anything. Yeah, and breaking the culture of silence was correct about the recording. I'm just going to give a little modification. If you go to the FBI's office, their field office, and I can speak from personal experience, they don't even let you bring in your cell phone. Now, depending on what office you go to, they will sometimes have contractors working the screening, or they'll have actual federal employees. You are not allowed to bring a cell phone in, period, or recording devices, period. And it's posted. If you're going for an interview or you're showing up and you're delivering documents or whatever, you're going into the office, you're not allowed to record. It's very clearly posted. But you are making a phone call to a law enforcement official, a public servant, you have every right to record that. Or even if they call you, they're calling you. You're calling you, they're doing their job as a public servant. They're still calling you, they're still a public servant. You're allowed to record their phone call. There's nothing illegal about that. But that's okay. People can say whatever they want to say. I'm just coming on here to make sure the statement and the issue is correct. What's illegal is recording people's private conversations when there's an expectation of privacy. When the person believes truly that your conversation with them is private and it should be private. There's a difference between a private conversation and a non-private conversation. Can a public servant have a private conversation with you based on an inquiry about an issue that's occurring in public? I guess when it gets down to the nitty gritty, I guess you can. But if you're the person that's filing the complaint, how is somebody going to tell you you can't record the conversation? You go into a building, it's very clearly posted. You're going into an inside meeting, the rules change. The entities have a right to make their own rules and regulations about recording in actual meetings. And you got to be careful about that because that can be considered wiretapping. You have to be careful. But if you are getting a service, someone is talking to you, they're a public servant, and they're following up with you, or they're talking to you about an incident or whatever situation, that 100% is allowed to be recorded. But anybody's welcome to go and file whatever complaint they want to file. I stated it before, I'll state it again. Talk all the greasy shit you want to talk. But we also know they can never handle that either in reciprocation. But nonetheless, go for it. We are focusing on the lines that are crossed. It doesn't matter that Carrie Ann isn't currently jumping on panels and running all over the place in these YouTube streets. We still have our plans and we're moving forward with them. We don't come here to these YouTube streets and ask permission. Should we continue talking about Carrie Ann? You need our permission. No, we don't. Just like Carrie Ann didn't need any permission to start spreading allegations about black men being P words and CMs. Didn't need any permission to do that. We don't need any permission to make sure wherever she goes, they're going to know her history and how horrendously she represented the profession that she claims she loves so much. Same goes for anyone else. You can file whatever you want to file. We've seen what happens when they file complaints against us. They are eventually warned and told to stop calling, or they're going to be subjected to criminal charges or a civil suit because they're disrupting a business, trying so hard to get some sort of reaction out of us that we just don't have it to give because we don't feel the way these subjects are trying to force us to feel. They want us to feel a certain way. They want to see and witness some sort of suffering. Oh my God, I feel so bad. We don't feel bad. This is all predictable. All of it. It just comes in different types of waves, different levels of intensity, but the actions play out over and over and over again. Listen, folks, I got more to cover, a lot more to cover, and will be covering it. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer beware.